For over a year now, Mei has consistently been one of the least picked and worst performing heroes. But don't just take my word for it, visit one of the various Overwatch stat tracking websites for yourself. Click on heroes, sort by pick rate, and then scroll all the way down, and what do you see? It's Mei.
So mean.
It doesn't matter if you're looking in bronze or grandmaster, quick play or competitive, Mei is at or near the bottom in every category. A post from earlier this month pointed out that since her last balance change happened on November 15th of 2016, she has consistently had one of the worst pick rates in the game across all tiers of play. This is despite shifting metas, new heroes being added, and existing heroes being nerfed and buffed. Mei has remained in a very poor spot, with no changes to her being made. Now, it hasn't always been this bad for Mei. Early on in Season 2, thanks to buffs to her ultimate, buffs to projectile attacks, and self-healing rewarding ultimate charge, Mei filled an important role. Specifically, on maps like King's Row and Hanamura, Mei was considered an acceptable hero on defense, but that was about it. And even then, she was still a fairly uncommon pick. And then came the nerf to Mei's ultimate. Alongside with a nerf to the charge rate of all ultimates, she quickly was removed from popular use, and it's been that way ever since an entire year later. Now, over this past year, we've seen numerous heroes with better pick and win rates than Mei herself receiving tuning, and even some complete overhauls, and yet here Mei sits, sad, alone, and all the way at the bottom of the pick list. So you might say, what can be done? Is all hope lost? Oh, of course not, but it's safe to say that she probably needs to be looked at. The normal shifting of the meta hasn't done Mei any favors, and I think it's about time that Blizzard step in. So we've seen a couple of interesting suggestions from this article, this post itself, as well as from the general community. So I want to go over a couple of those here. One of them is this idea of buffing Cryo Freeze. That's her freeze ability that heals her over time, but the problem is usually she just dies immediately after. It gives the enemy team time to surround her and set up an easy kill. Even though you're getting that heal, unless you're in a one-on-one situation, it doesn't really do you any favors. So what about the idea of having it refill her ammo? Either some of it or all of it, leaving it so that you're not defenseless after you exit Cryo Freeze. And then I saw the idea of adding momentum to this ability, allowing her to slide at will by holding down shift and then root her in place when you let the ability go. I think that's a phenomenal idea, especially when coupled with letting Mei use her ice wall while she is in Cryo Freeze. If you added momentum to it and then let her use her ice wall, she can use Cryo Freeze not only to heal herself, but also to get out of a sticky situation, back maybe to the safety of her team. We also see the idea of changing her ice wall, or more specifically, adding an extra pillar to it. Ice wall in and of itself is really good at choke points, but it's fairly useless everywhere else. If you added an extra pillar, it would increase its versatility while not really making it any stronger in choke points, because it already pretty much has those covered. We also have the idea of just reworking her basic attack. I saw the idea of removing the freeze effect so that Mei now only freezes in her ultimate, but in conjunction with that, increasing the slow effect and increasing her damage output. And then finally, her ultimate. What about the idea of buffing this? As it stands, in practicality, in use, Mei's ultimate rarely actually catches people, especially since so many heroes in this game have movement abilities that allow them to escape it before they actually get frozen. So maybe increase the animation so the freeze happens faster, or just increase or decrease the time to freeze so that it happens more quickly. There's all sorts of things we could talk about, but whatever is actually done, I think it's safe to say that Blizzard has to step in at this point. It's been too long, we've seen so many changes to the meta, and then over the course of the year, nothing's really changed for Mei. She's remained, as we say, in F tier for the entire year.
Sorry, I'm sorry.